I have to say, this week's episode of Spy Family was quite surprising, as the format of it was not what I was expecting at all. We get quite a bit of Bond, which was a pleasant surprise, but last week we got finally more Your assassination stuff, so I was like, okay, they're just gonna start showing us things we don't normally see. But all things considered, despite the numerous points where Bond could have been Rip, I mean, seriously, if 1,000 Ways to Die was in dog form, that is Bond, because the number of times he could have died, from cooking to stabbing to mutilation, the sky was the limit for how many times he might not make it. Luckily, he did pull through, and we did get a little bit of Lloyd, but we really didn't see much of the main cast. We did get a decent amount of Bond, who doesn't get as much spotlight, which was great, but the surprise to me comes with the Damian stuff. Somehow an episode that had more Damian and his lackeys kept my interest, had me interested in where they were going, and actually made me come out appreciating said lackeys when I really didn't appreciate them too much in the first season. I didn't hate them, but at the end of the day, like, they were lackeys. Like, Damian as a character, I enjoyed. I really like what they're doing with his kind of parental story and just the way he very much has a crush on Anya and everything. But the idea that we get to see just how much of a homie or ride or die both of these lackeys are, and how Damian is just working himself to pretty much death. Like, he should be able to be a kid, right? Enjoy to kick back and relax. Somehow an episode that had very little of our main cast was actually the perfect Spy Family episode, and I'm honestly surprised they managed to do just that. Full live reaction though to today's wonderful episode of Spy Family is over on my Patreon. If you would like to see that, it's over there if you're interested. I really don't know what we're getting this season. We got a 12 episode season 2 here, and honestly, we immediately got what I wanted in the first episode, which was more assassination stuff with Yor, and then right away, even though I wasn't necessarily thinking about it, they gave me more Bond, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Bond didn't get too much stuff in the first season. Like, he had his moments, but damn it, give me some of that Bond greatness. I thought it was just going to be a couple of minutes, quick little like, oh, we're going to see it from his perspective, look at all the danger, and then we'd shift to Anya, and then she would deal with whatever was going to happen. And instead, no, it's just power goes out, boy gets dragged out, oh, Lloyd's not around, we don't have dog food, don't worry, I'll cook for you. It's like, okay, I eat the food, and I die. I deny the food, and I die because I'll get stabbed because we made Mama angry. And just it keeps progressing to the point I'm like, you know what? Even if this isn't guaranteed future sight, poor pupper. He loves his family. He knows his family wants what's best for him. But how does a dog that can't verbally communicate tell her, bitch, your cooking gonna kill me? Because that's the only way to put it. And the fact that he decides, you know what? I would rather kill a man with my owner than eat her cooking, and he dips. There's this shot where he jumps off the bridge. I thought he was killing himself. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Bond, I understand things are looking rough, but you don't need to jump just yet. And just to see, because Lloyd knows about Bond and the experimentation and stuff. So I love how he pretty quickly adjusts, like, okay, you want to help me. And the idea that what was going to happen was these 4 workers were going to come back early and the mission would have been screwed. So they end up putting like a note being like, haha, I stole your stuff. They open it for them, and then Bond and him just kick ass, and he gets to have a nice dinner when he gets home. It's such a simple moment, and you could easily see how an anime studio could avoid adapting a chapter like this, a situation like this. But I'm so happy that Spy Family is bigger than just saying, okay, we are only going to show the big missions, or we're only going to show these incredibly emotional moments. Like, Bond is probably day after day worried about something killing him because there's so many ways things could go wrong. But I like the fact that they showed us that simple moment, and it eases you into an episode that is a little different than what you're probably expecting. Now, I usually don't watch the previews for Spy Family episodes. I jump in, I see what they're gonna give me. So I had no idea what to expect at all with this episode. And Bond was a very pleasant surprise. But the biggest pleasant surprise was Damian. I liked Damian, liked his content in the first season. His lackeys, kind of whatever. They're fun characters to be in the background, but you know, if they got smacked upside the head, I'm not going to shed a tear or be too worried. And to see him just immediately, the purple all around his eyes, he's just staying up all night, studying Stella this, Stella that, and he's just getting punished. And honestly, the fact that they were set to go see a movie, right? The class was going to go see a movie. And the fact that these 2 lackeys, just immediately, they start messing with their uniform. They start running amok just so they can get punished and help him do the chores faster. And I love how elegant it ends up becoming, because we get this teacher who takes him on a little river ride, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I bought into it. They were going real fast. I saw the waterfall approaching, and I'm like, you can't be telling me you guys are gonna jump this. Turns out it's a very shallow river, so the speed and everything made it look a lot more intense. But you have to admit, Damian getting thrown overboard, him flapping, I was like, oh shit, he can't swim. These two seemingly couldn't do the same thing either, but they, like, without hesitation, jump in to help their homie. Yeah, it's funny, takes the paddle, stabs it in the river, it's shallow, makes them look like fools, but you can't deny that, at least for me, as someone who didn't really appreciate these two all too much, I like Damian, the other two, there were more memes than anything. It made me go from saying these are just random goons, random lackeys, to actually some pretty solid kids at the end of the day that have their friends back, and man, it was nice. The cooking, the fishing, yeah, they butt heads a little, they troll each other, but by the time he just like passes out, looks at the stars, for the first time in weeks or maybe even months, Damian got to be a kid again. Not only prove that, you know, he does have a future ahead of him, and he probably could be an amazing politician someday, but it is important for him to get that good night's rest, to enjoy being a kid when, you know, the fact that the school, despite this being like such a great school, even they recognize like, hey, you know, they need a little bit of encouragement, a little downtime, and he just wasn't getting that, and I really enjoyed what they did here. And while it's funny seeing his lack of spelling, I like how the first letter he had to scratch out because like he like didn't put it down properly. Like, yeah, he's got a little bit to go, but seriously, this is what I like about Spy Family. They got a very interesting formula to work for with its main slice of life and main narrative hooks, but at the same time, show me some stupid stuff with the dog. Show me some stupid stuff with Damian and his lackeys, and make me come out appreciating the smaller moments in such a very jam-packed show. Like, Spy Family has been an absolute blessing now, 27 episodes in. The movie, I'm sure, will be incredible. The remaining 10 episodes of this season, I'm sure, is gonna be incredible. And all I keep hearing about is that we're getting closer to different chapters. Like, as an example, I heard a lot of people say that last week was a chapter they were really hoping to see in season 2. I'm hearing that there's some stuff probably coming up in the next couple of episodes that people are really excited for. It just feels like rather than there being a specific moment in Spy Family that everyone collectively is like, this is the moment, can't wait till the season gets here, it kind of feels like Spy Family is like a grab bag of all these moments that are so passionate to different fans, and collectively that's why we get such an enjoyable, grin to your face season. Sometimes I sweat a little. I'm like, damn it, Bond, are you dying this episode? And then I'm like, Damian, like, why are we gonna get a Damian-focused like 10-15 minute section? And it somehow works. Spy Family is fantastic. I think Spy Family is a masterpiece of a slice of life, action, adventure, family, drama, comedy. It's a little bit of everything. And I really enjoyed this episode. Was surprised for sure, but a good surprise nonetheless. Let me know what you thought though of this week's very different Spy Family episode down below. What did you think, and what do you hope to see going forward? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos to the channel. And of course, like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon, and hey, while there you also get a video shout out like Attack Owl, Minless, Lesix Sykes, Ender Wolf, Gomison, and Ray Quiggs are getting today, so I appreciate the support everyone. Please take care and have a good one.